Okay.
All right, we are live.
Boom. Okay. Oh yeah, Anuschka tagged me in the video. I don't know.
Still getting this set up here. Give us a second. The technology side.
That's okay. That's okay. Meanwhile, I gotta say hello to everybody that is here.
Awesome.
Thank you for joining us today. My dear friend Brian, what a great surprise. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing well.
Yeah, you got a haircut already?
No.
Oh my! I couldn't handle mine, man. So I searched for someone that was cutting the hair in TJ, and they did it. Oh, thank God! What a refreshing experience.
So, hi everyone. Just wanted to say we're live. So we're live on Facebook, we're live on Instagram, and this is our Healers Talk series, and we'll be doing these lives weekly. Today we're going to be talking about empaths, and it's the empaths Q&A. So that's what we're here for, and please participate, those that are watching. We're going to be asking a series of questions and whatnot. Love that participation from everyone.
Yeah, definitely. And this is something that we wanted to do, not just give you information, because you can pretty much get information in I mean, so many places, different videos, YouTube, Facebook. But here is more about answering your guys' questions, you know, and so we can explain you, or the idea is to help you to understand better what is the process that you are going through, why you are living the things that you are living, and experiences the things that you guys are experiencing. So we can try to bring that concept that is very complicated into something more physically manageable. That's the idea of today's session. But but anyway, we can start on our own. Anuschka is going to do the moderation, so I'm going to be just answering questions instead of just jumping and intervening. Okay?
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, so I mean, to begin, because we have all kinds of listeners out there, right? To begin, what is an empath?
An empath, well, usually I'm going to accommodate this better so I have a better angle. An empath is someone that, okay, I'm going to give you first the definition and then the spiritual definition. The traditional definition of an empath is someone that feels emotions at a very, very deep level, you know, to the level that can become overwhelmed. Like, for example, there's nothing wrong with you, with your life, you're going to work, and then someone calls you on the phone, or you are overhearing a conversation between people that you like or love, and then you start experiencing the emotion that person is feeling, but not to a point like I'm feeling it and I'm sorry for you. That's being empathic. But an empath actually, at a spiritual level, energetic level, what it's doing is taking energy out of that person and bringing it into themselves, bringing it into their own bodies to process. So you feel it like if you are the one going through that experience. So the empaths usually are, this is the way that I put it. Hopefully you can try to understand the concept. It's not literally, but it's like it is a soldier of God. You know, it's here to serve God. And the way that you are serving, because God is a universal love, is to try to minimize the intensity of the emotion that someone else is feeling. So that will be the definition, the understanding, basically, on how they perceive other people's emotions.
Yeah, totally. And I know being an empath, I resonate with all of what you just said. And it's interesting, definitely. So why would someone choose to be an empath in this lifetime?
That is very interesting, you know, and for the people that don't know me, I have my practice. I do therapy, and during my therapy, I try to find the source of the problems or the issues that the people are having. So my idea is to try to go to the source where everything started. And for some people, the problems that they come into work with is in this lifetime, but so many other times it's something that is kind of like a karmatic contract that they've been playing and working on for lives and lives and lives. So now my understanding based on what I experienced with empath clients that I or worked with is that they were kind of naughty, you know. They were like for example, someone that we can relate in our lifetime, Saddam Hussein, right? That he was like a very strong arm and enforcing law and enforcing his way of thinking and the way of life and everything into many people, regardless of what they feel or think or do, you know? Well, in his next lifetime, it's very probably that he's gonna become an empath. Why is that? Because now he's gonna be on the receiving end to heal that event, that emotion from his previous experience. Remember, the life at the physical level works in balance. You know, we are always in search for balance, and everything around us create balance. We have darkness and light, good, bad. I like it, I don't like it. It's healthy, it's harmful. Winter, we have summers, male, female, you know. It's like everything, it's balance, and that's what our physical brain knows. So because you are experiencing life in a third dimension, the way that you want to solve a past karmatic experience is to balance that past karmatic experience. Like, for example, if in the past lifetime your significant other was cheating on you, in this lifetime you choose to be the cheater, you know, and you cheat in other people because you want to understand the reason why the people that you love and you trust and you give your love to was experiencing when he decided to cheat, because in that lifetime you couldn't solve it. So now you come in to play the role in the opposite, or to play the part in the opposite role, to experience yourself. What is it that you were doing? But when you created a lot of darkness, a lot of emotions to many people, we usually choose to come here as an empath so we can experience not only the emotions out of our own events, out of our own experiences, but also the emotions of the people around us. And it's a way that we purge our sins, just to put it, you know, under quotations, you know. It's just to kind of like get even with what you've been carrying. Now that is one set of people. The other set of people, it's people that wants to advance very fast, that they are getting tired of physical experiences and they want to go to deeper and stronger levels of awareness. So they also can come here to choose to experience some other people's emotions, to become healers. That is your case, Anuschka, is to become a healer so you can solve problems from others. But remember that in this lifetime, in the physical world, in this third dimension, the way that we learn things is through pain. Because every time that you experience emotional pain, especially emotional pain, more than physical pain, you open up all your senses to the experience. Your breathing changed, the way that you see life changed, the emotions inside of you changed. So when you activate all your emotions at once, your subconscious mind opens up And when your subconscious mind opens up, start recording the information. So if you experience someone else's pain, you activate all your emotions, you open up your subconscious mind, and you start recording information there to process and to learn out of someone else's experience. So it's kind of like, it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Now, the challenge and the problem is our lifestyle in these current times do not support properly the work for empaths. That is the biggest challenge. That is what everybody's feeling overwhelmed. But instead of going, deeper and deeper, I'm gonna allow you to moderate it.
Yeah. There's so much, especially like with what we're all dealing with right now. I've been feeling a lot of emotions recently, and I feel like you kind of touched on it, but I feel like there are empaths that feel more than others, and because we have different levels of empaths. So I'm curious, is that to do with the karma, like the karma levels, or how does that work? Because some empaths feel a lot more, some feel it a little bit, right? There's different levels. So I'm curious around that.
Yeah, it's a great question because basically we are humans, and our experience is very, very unique. This is why you find so many, for example, I do therapy, so you find so many different type of modalities that helps you to heal someone. And one modality just works for one type of people, and another modality works for another type of people, and another modality works for another type of people. It's because we are very unique. We are very, very unique to what we are living, what we are experiencing, what we can hear to experience. So everything, it's connected to your source, to the problem, to what you choose. Like for example, if you're gonna become a healer, you're gonna feel deeper than just a traditional empath that feels lower. Why is that? Because you need to trigger a reaction inside of you to force you to search for answers. That's the reason why. So if you are just an empath because you are just coming here to learn what other people felt when you were being, aggressive or killing them or making them suffer, well, if you just feel the emotions, that will be more than enough. But if the emotions completely come into you and overwhelm you and it stops you from living your life, it's because life is forcing you to search for answers. You are pretty much having a symptom. So you need to take it deeper than a traditional empath.
That really resonated, because I always wonder, like, why do I feel so much? And I got the chills when you were saying that. So thank you for sharing that. So with that, I mean, it sounds like then empaths, they are going to be more connected to that energetic, emotional bodies of theirs, right?
Yes, it's remember that at an spiritual level, nothing is better and nothing is worse. You are getting what you need. You are pretty much matching whatever it is that you have to experience, right? Because it's like if you are going, you're climbing a mountain, right? It's little by little, but the side of the mountain that you choose to climb it, it's gonna change because of the intensity, because of the steepness of how vertical it is, and so on and so forth. And it really depends on your own natural abilities. Like for example, if you are a person that is able to practice climbing, you may take the hardest way to climb the mountain, but you're also going to have the more fun, right? And you're going to have a very deep personal satisfaction when you reach the top. Now, if you are, let's say, a very wealthy person and you just want to reach the top, well, you can hire a chopper and the chopper can take you all the way to the top, you know. And if you are in the middle, well, you may choose to have a 4x4 in music and beers and just going through all the ups and downs, where the car is having most of the challenge, but you have a mental challenge reach the top, right? Now, which one is right and which one is wrong? Well, no one is right and no one is wrong. It's just different, you know. It's a different experience, and the experience gonna depend on what you choose to have in this lifetime and the people that you're going to connect with when you are going through those processes. Like, for example, you, Anuschka, and I connected because of that, right? Because you were feeling these extreme emotions and you were calling me, and I was like working with you and telling you, no, it's okay, let it go, let it come out, and let's see what we find, you know. And it was more like a searching expedition to try to find the things that we were finding. And then eventually you started channeling, you know, and it was like, whoa, you know, what's going on here, you know. And energy started controlling your body, and your body was shaking and all this stuff, but you internally was feeling a lot of peace. You know, it was not like you were feeling threatened. It was the opposite. You were feeling and experiencing a lot of peace because of that. So because you were able to feel your emotions very deeply, is that you choose to find help for that. And because you were feeling help or getting help for that symptom, is that you discover that you were able to channel. And now that you are able to channel, I mean, you are connecting with clients at a different level. You are able to help other people. You can understand what other people is telling you, and so on and so forth. Now, let's go to the other type of empath. It's an empath that feels less. Well, that empath that feel less may feel depressed, not because of his feelings, but because everything, like you said, you know, everything that's going on right now. And now we have riots, and now we have all these different things, and which are symptoms of the same original problem. And so he or she may feel just overwhelmed, and that's it. You know, he's like, oh, okay, you know, I feel overwhelmed because the environment is overwhelming, but that's it. You know, there's nothing else that I have to do. You know, that's the difference. You know, the one that it's like it always rebalances yourself. The deeper that you go to one side of the pendulum, the deeper that you're going to go to the other side of the pendulum. That's how life works, you know. The stronger the experience, like, for example, if you go to a very radical diet, well, you're also going to be way more healthy than more people, right? And more resilient to disease and all that stuff. But if you just do a diet here and there and a cleanse like every 6 months, well, you're going to be healthy, but not as healthy as the other person, right? And if you never do a diet, but you actually care for what you eat and what you put inside of your body, you can also be very healthy, you know. But you don't gonna go to those extreme levels where you are very resilient to disease and virus and bacteria and virus.
Right. Oh, you got cut out. Oh, Jacob?
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me? Oh, there you go. You got cut out for a second. You can hear me though? You're good? Right.
Yes, very clear.
All right, awesome. Yeah, no, I love that. And it's like, I always, you know, with coaching and whatnot, I was like, always the bigger the breakdown, the bigger the breakthrough, right?
Yes.
So that it's like, I love the pendulum, you know, analogy.
Yeah.
So that's like,
yes.
Yeah, the more you swing, right, one way, then of course it's going to swing more, like just as much the other. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, awesome. So now I'd love to open it up to, because I see some, like Anna's here on Facebook with us. I know she's definitely an empath. My friend Jen is here on Instagram. I don't know if she's still on. I know she's definitely an empath. So just wanted to open it up, you know, and I don't know if anybody on our Zoom, they're resonating with any of this, but just got some questions for you all to discover your own empathic, you know, abilities and whatnot, right? The first question is, when did you actually discover that you feel others' emotions?
Well, you know, if I go back now, right? With the knowledge that I have and review my life, I always been empathic, right? Since I was a little one, because I was very quiet and very introvert and very into try to figure out things. I don't know why, but it was always about trying to figure out things, why things work, and why people reacted in certain particular way. I remember a scenario right now that my older sister used to love chocolate. For me, chocolate was like, cookies were my thing, but chocolate, and she ate all, I don't know if it was chocolates or cookies that my mother had like hidden to give us treats like here and there. And then when my mother came back home and she asked who ate this, she said that I was the one that I ate it, everything. And I was so shocked about it. And I was crying. It was like, how dare you? How it's this possible? And she was like, no, he ate it. That's why he's crying, because he's the one. And it was for me like, I couldn't handle the level of injustice, and so I remember going through this through all my life. Now, in my case, I didn't was feeling other people's emotions to a level that I was experiencing the same symptoms, but I always felt them. I always was able to felt other people better than most people. My parents, my sisters, my friends, I couldn't feel them. I couldn't feel when it was a good time to be with someone, when it was a good time to just say goodbye.
It's getting choppy again.
Stay on with my own self. So it's been a life. It was when I started to go, I will say like around 25 years ago.
Okay.
It's when I start going through my awakening and all that good stuff. It's when I started to control.
Yeah. And I feel like for me, I've always had that too. I've always just been a very emotional, sensitive person, not realizing I feel like I always had like this like strong exterior, so people never, it's protection mechanisms, right?
Right.
So I feel like I've always had it. I didn't actually really know what it was until just like this last like 5 years or so, where I'm like, oh, that's what it's called. This is a thing,
Yep.
I know Body Work by Crystal on Instagram says that she's a total empath here. So, would love to hear from, others. Anna, like when did you, first discover, that you feel others' emotions, and, what are some symptoms that you experience? Because for me, similar to you, like when you said you felt like that injustice and like the overwhelm of feelings and crying, that would happen to me a lot, and I just never like understood it. I just thought that I was just overly sensitive, or whatever.
You know what? That's the difference. Yeah, because many people think that they are sensitive when in reality they're an empath. And the difference is this. Remember that everything that got to be with emotions belong to your top chakras, right? Throat, third eye, crown chakra, right? And our heart is kind of like the neutral chakra, right? So we communicate with each other through the heart. And this is not the way that you guys probably learn it out there, because my stuff is more like Mayan and they're more simple. They're not very specific. But play with me with this concept, because it actually makes a lot of sense. We communicate with each other through our hearts. But the heart it's filtering the emotion depending on which chakras you have more active. So for example, in all the people that think that they're very sensitive, if I check the chakras with the pendulum, with muscle testing, they usually have these chakras way more active than the physical ones. And it's like here it's very expanding, and below is very, very contracted. And so that's what happens. Now, let's say that is the symptom. Well, but let me see how are we doing time-wise. Okay. The other thing that it's important is to remain in balance. Why? Because we are experiencing life in the physical world. And in the physical world, we need to have our physical chakras also active. You know, you need to be able to decide what to wear, finances, where to work, the things that you have to do, instead of just feeling the things. With empathy is the opposite work that the type of work that I do with people that are just very physical, you know, that I need them to activate the emotional side. Empathy is the opposite. I need to activate the physical side. And I know this very well because I actually play that role. You know, for me, it's like I'm very relaxed when it comes to money. You know, it's like, and it's not because it comes to my life easy. It's just because it's hard for me to force my mind to understand the concept of accumulation of wealth. You know, and I've been blessed throughout my life, and I receive many times in my life massive amounts of money, and every time that I have a massive amount of money, it took me years to reach that level. I always like, okay, I'm tired of this, you know, I'm gonna go into what I really like, you know, which is the spiritual world and emotions, all that stuff. And I just use the money that I have until I empty completely the nest egg, and then I go back again, you know, and that is wrong. That is not the way that it should be, and it's because of the imbalance in my chakras. So nowadays, I am more active in trying to have as many energy in my physical chakras as I have it in my emotional chakras. So I not only exercise my perception, my creativity, and all the things that are not physical, you know, that are not touchable, and combine them with the physical part, because if not, you know, I'm gonna end up being alone, you know, just living on the streets, you know, but very happy, but living on the streets, you know, and that's not what I want for me. So,
yeah,
so that's the thing.
Yeah. And you know, yeah, which actually is a great segue to the next question. But before I get to that, body work by Crystal, she said, I feel all types of energies, from food to the planets to the human collective consciousness. It can be overwhelming, but my path is to learn self-love so these energies don't take me down.
Okay, my answer to that will be that is not the way that you're working, that is how you're shielding from it. You know, because what you are doing right now, friend, is you are activating the strongest shield that exists, you know, in the physical world and in beyond the physical, which is love, right? So she's using that love as a coping mechanism to shield herself, and that is a good technique. That is not a bad technique, but the problem with doing that is that it's something that requires you always to be there, and unless you are living your life as a monk or as a yogi, and I'm not talking about yogi that go and do yoga classes or teach yoga classes. I'm talking about the real yogis run, you know, the ones that are just living and meditating and just living in community and just surviving pretty much, you know. If you are experiencing life in the physical world, I'm talking about being a mom, being with someone else, as a couple, working, so on and so forth. The challenge with that system is that it requires you to go back to your own center, exercise that option, bring it over in order for you to shield yourself, or to use your vibration, raising your vibration, so you can cope with the things that you're working with or that you're feeling at the moment. Another way of doing it is to have that kind of shield and all that good stuff natural. You know, it's like you don't have to bring it up again because it's right there. It's part of you.
Yeah.
It's what it is. It's part of your new identity. And that's what what I've been able to do now, you know?
So yeah, and to continue this, because one of the things that we would talk about too is, well, how do you actually clear or transmute the energy you take on, right? Because that's kind of, you know, that's what I was going to say, a segue to it, right? I mean, I'll just share my own version. I'd love, you know, to have, you know, your version as well and what you do. But for me, like one of the first things now I do is when I am feeling something, immediately, because I'm very intuitive too, immediately I ask, is this my energy? To at least know, like, is this my own, or is this something I've taken on? So that's like one of the things I do, and then go through the clearing. But that is one thing I take on.
Right. Well, that is one way to do it, of course, and that is bringing your awareness. But you know, the real problem is our lifestyle. That is what the real problem is. Because if you notice all the shoes, even if you're using flip-flops that are made out of leather, the sole is a synthetic rubber. And the problem with, I mean, there's always good and bad, right? The good thing about synthetic rubber is that it's gonna last you forever, you know? It's gonna take time before you make a hole in that thing. The challenging part is that you are insulated, that you don't have that natural exchange of energy with the earth that we were designed with or for, you know? And so just by walking with, in our case, barefoot or with shoes that have leather soles without any synthetic between the sole, between the shoe and your feet, just by doing that, you are releasing energy into the air and you are grabbing energy into the air. So remember, you contract with spirit or with God or whatever name you want to put was to feel the emotions of other people, right? That was the contract, but it was not for you to keep those emotions. It was never, because your body cannot resist it, your body cannot live it, you know? So you really need to be able to feel the emotion, continue the process, and just release that emotion. So one of the biggest challenges that I find is precisely that people most of the time are not able, because of our daily lifestyle, are not able to release the energies from other people. So they accumulate and accumulate and accumulate and accumulate and accumulate to the point that eventually you're feeling completely depressed, or you're feeling a panic attack, or you're feeling like you cannot handle the world anymore.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's one of the things.
And the thing that I know that I've learned from you is just doing that energy cleansing, chakra rebalancing.
Yeah.
We are going to do that this evening, by the way. So just wanted to throw that out there. Today's Tuesday, so we're going to be doing that during our meditation. But I feel like that's been my way of, you know, releasing energies and then getting to that high frequency.
Perfect. Yeah, that's a great practice. And for all the people that are joining us or that are listening to this in the future, please do that. I mean, join one of our Tuesday meditations. It's 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, or Pacific Time, because we are now on summertime. And the thing is that we do a process before the meditation that really helps us to connect way faster to deeper levels of awareness. And the reason why we are able to connect that, and the reason why we do these exercises, is precisely to release all the stuff that we've been carrying, all the emotions that we were receiving from all the people, from thoughts and so on and so forth. I mean, if you check your own energy before and after you do the exercise, you can feel the difference. It's something that you feel inside of your body. And so that's a great way to do it. There's another thing that we do, and we can plan to do a group to do something just for it's like a workshop just for people that are empaths. It's, first of all, go to the source, go to where you created this contract, the reason why you created this contract. So go there and heal that event. You know, that is the most important thing that I can do for you guys, because once you heal that event, then you can just work with what you have, and instead of being a curse, it's a blessing. It's an ability, right? It's something that that you have that most people don't have, and then we can fine tune those emotions and that way of thinking in a different way. Because basically what we're gonna do is I'm gonna help you to move from the physical logical world where you are thinking, sorry, it was my telephone, where you are thinking that something is good or something is bad, to put it in a complete different context where everything just is, you know. But we need to heal that. We need to have the permission of your physical brain. And if you don't want to work to join our paid workshop, you can always come to the meditations and practice the meditations, you know, and the meditations are very, very inexpensive. And they help you to reach those levels of awareness and connect with your source. And then you can ask them, you know, what is it that I have to do in order to control this better? You know?
Absolutely.
That kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, definitely. I'm really excited about, you know, doing that workshop, because I know what a difference it made for me when we discovered the root source of whatever it is that I'm dealing with. Because there's something in my brain, right? And so it was really interesting, you know, to go through that. Now, there's a few, I'm seeing a couple questions coming through. So let me look at this. Oh, so Body Work by Crystal said, yes, learning resilience is what I'm working on. That's great. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know about resilience, but.
Right. Resilient is to be able to handle deeper and deeper emotions. And the challenge with that is that if you work this through resilience, eventually those emotions, remember that emotions are energy in motion. That's how they call it, right? That energy needs to show up in some way. And the problem is that it can become a symptom. Because if you are not transmuting that energy, if you are not releasing that energy, it's getting stuck inside of your body. And the only places that energy get usually stuck is in your organs. And it's going to choose to be in the weakest organ, because the weakest organ, by definition, don't have 100% of its energy. So if it's lacking energy, then it's going to take and it's going to absorb whatever energy it's available inside of your body. And if it's all these emotions from other people, that's the energy that is going to go there, and it's going to stay there. And that is going to create an imbalance, because the frequency of the dense emotions like fear, jealousy, anger, I don't know, all these different emotions are dense. They're low in vibration, because that's the emotions that we feel. So those ones are gonna get stuck there. So my suggestion to you,
it, right? Is what I'm like, because it's instead of because when you're being resilient, it's like almost like you're not fully releasing. And
you're becoming tougher. It's like if you go to the gym and you start pumping iron, the more weight that you have, the stronger your muscles are gonna be, and the more you can handle, right? But the problem with that is that when it comes to emotions, it should be the opposite way. You shouldn't be resilient. You should allow if you feeling emotions of sadness, just cry. Find a way, go to your car, cry out, let it out.
And
don't
if it's anger, go scream it out. That's what I say too.
Because the thing is that if you hold that and it's like it don't affect me anymore because I'm just holding it, it's going to show up in one way or another in your body eventually, and you don't want that.
Get it out.
That will be for you. Yes, get it out, and don't be resilient. Be the opposite.
Yeah.
And
then this goes similar to I think it's, I don't know, Jilly, sorry if I'm mispronouncing the name. Is the shield the same as resistance? You were talking, I think this is when you were talking about just like the love.
It's a combination, a combination of two things, because energy is not like water, right? Energy goes through through walls, go through metal, go through bones, go through whatever it is that you have. So if I put an energetic shield around me, some of that energy is still gonna be able to come in, you know, because remember, the reason why you're putting a shield is because you are feeling something, right? If the shield is not there automatically, is not part of your identity, which in my case, with the way that I teach it, which is very, very differently, is we don't shield ourselves. We understand and we respect. And so that's kind of like a automatic shield. But if you are putting a shield, it's because you felt something, and you say, well, this is not mine. So then you bring your love, you activate your love, or the love from the source, and you protect yourself, and you don't allow more energy to come to you. But you already have some energy inside, because otherwise you wouldn't be activating your shield, right? That is part of the recipients. So now, my suggestion is just allow everything to happen. Just allow everything to move. I mean, what is inside of you, just take it out, because it's already inside of you, you know. So don't fight it. Don't push it out, because if you push it out, you're using a dense energy, and a dense energy with dense energy, it's a bad combination.
And even like resisting, like I always hear is like resisting is like,
yeah.
like whenever you're resisting something, it persists, right? So, you know, like I've learned from you, and constantly just, you know, learning from myself, is to just surrender, let go.
Yes,
you know, and that's yeah, and it's like, just like, it's like, so like I also see it as like going like a stream that's going downwards, right? If you're trying to go upstream, that's resistance, rather than just allowing the water to flow with the water. So
because remember, it's trying to teach you something. It's here to help you. You know, it's something that you choose to live and experience. So go with it, because only that way you're gonna connect with all the people that you need to connect, and it's gonna take you through the destination that you choose to have, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we have one more question here from Isabel Morales on Facebook, and she says, I start feeling others' feelings years ago, but after I became a mother, I closed all my sources, and now I feel it's time to open them, but I don't know how.
Well, that's different, because if you were an empath and you close, in my experience, every time that you close something that was a contract that you choose way before you have a body, think about vibration, you know, a vibration level. If you are at a spiritual level, you are at a very high vibration, right? You don't have the density of the body. And then you come to a body, and once you're in the body, you want to change things that you decide at a higher vibration. Is it gonna happen? Not really. You know? Is it gonna help temporarily? Yes, for sure, definitely. You know, but it's not a permanent solution. So if it's part of your identity, it's gonna come. Now, you are here in this transmission that we are having because of a reason. It's because these contracts that we have from other times and other places are like magnets. There are always you know, calling us. It's always like bringing us to our honest and true self. And so if you don't have them activated right now, you're not working with them right now, well, it's a good thing that you prepare yourself and be ready to embrace it again. Because if not, you know, it's gonna show up eventually. You know, one day you're gonna go to your home and you're sleeping, and then you start seeing energies, and you're gonna think that you're going crazy, and you're gonna go to a psychiatrist, and they're gonna tell you that you are what is it called, a schizophrenic, and it's, you know, it's gonna be a mess. You know? So it's better to do it the way that you are doing it right now, like little by little, starting to find sources and experience things. Another thing that I can suggest you is just participate in the meditations. Go how deep you go experience. Who do you connect with? Are you connecting with past relatives that die? Are you connecting with your higher self? Are you seeing yourself? Are you seeing colors? Are you seeing geographical shapes? You know, are you feeling emotions? It's the energetic world don't have rules and don't have steps. It's just is, you know. So for everybody is different, but kind of like the vibration of what you receive is what let us know where are you and what is the next step for you.
Yeah, yeah, and just like you said, like being open to what comes, and just again, surrender. I feel like it's like, you know, the key in all of it, surrendering to what's there. Yeah. So I know we're getting close to time. There's one other question that I wanted to ask. You, it looks like I'm not seeing any questions from anyone else at this point, but so what strategies do you use to cope with, you know, like right now, right? Like we said, so much is happening out there. I'm sure a lot of empaths are like really overwhelmed, right? So I'm curious, you know, what you would do as a strategy.
Yes, look, this is a great question, because what I notice through years of therapy with clients is that for something to work needs to be kind of like in balance, right? We can not only do the energetic work, we have to do the physical aspect of the work too. So for example, that's what I plan to do on the workshop. It doesn't make sense that I explain you about the energies and it's not your energy and so on and so forth. I need to also heal all the things and concepts that you have inside of your rational brain that make you think or believe that what that person is feeling is bad for them. You know, because if we don't change one, we're not going to be able to change the other. The change is only going to be temporary. You know, it's not going to be permanent. So that's what my approach, at least. You know, if we are in the physical world, we have to do the things in a physical way, and then we have to do things also in the energetic, spiritual way, because the contract belongs to another time and another space that goes beyond the physical. You know, you were born this way, basically. So we have to just clarify all the I don't know, put it like blockages or waste that you put in your brain, you know, because that's how we operate here in the earth, you know, and that's how we learn to live and survive, you know, by following the laws of balance. So we have to just clarify a few things there, release stuff that we are processing there, and then go into the spiritual side of it and heal it as well, you know, and then it's just like flying hours, you know, it's practicing, and eventually you get to the other side where you can be in another place and understand that that is not for you to feel, and you don't feel it. You know, you don't have to bring a shield, you don't have to protect yourself, you don't have to bring this energy, just you understand that experience. I mean, big accident, someone die in front of you on a car accident, and you are not getting those emotions. You know, it's like, I understand that this is just is, and it's part of the experience of these two people that interact at very specific time and space to create this reaction. You know. And if you choose to, you can send light to the relatives, you know, to the people that remain here. But it's not that you don't care, it's that you don't get hooked on it. You know, is that situation don't take over you and your life, because by taking over in you and your life, as soon as you reach your destination, you're going to be in a complete different vibration, and you're going to be affecting all the people around you, you know, and if you just understand things. Because remember, I mean, we have a few minutes, and this is something that is very important, and I hope that all people take it. Your rational brain lives about it's all about the experiences, right? So needs to create references, and based on that references, beliefs or not beliefs in the things, that you are capable of, and that you are supposed to feel, and the things that you are not supposed to feel. Like everybody born with the ability to see energies. Everybody, all babies. If you carry a baby before they're 3 years old, they see all around you, they smile, they have fun with energies, and we all have that. But then, because of the emotional connection that we have with our parents, and when we start talking to them about what we are seeing, and they tell us that doesn't exist, and it's not real, and BS, and so on and so forth, we start blocking all those natural abilities. Now, the energy is not going anywhere, right? You see it or you don't see it, but the energy is energy. Energy is gonna be there, right? So now, one of the other ways that we remember things is by thinking them over and over again. Like, for example, if I ask you right now, what was your dream, or what do you dream of during the night, you probably don't gonna remember. And those of you that can remember because it was impactful, activate your other senses, your emotions, then I'm gonna ask you, what did you dream yesterday, and the day before yesterday, and a month ago? And you don't want to remember those, right? Why is that? Because you are not keep playing with it. You are not bringing it to your present as part of, as part of your identity. You're not bringing it as part of your life, as part of your experience. You are just letting them go. So every time that we are going through an impactful situation, the worst thing that you can do is talk to other people about it. And that is the very first thing that we do, you know, because remember something, you are going back to the accident. We were driving, there's an accident, someone died, it's a horrible thing. And then you are in the car, so you are not grounded, you are not releasing energy, you are in the car, and you're listening to music, but you don't hear the music anymore. You're just thinking about all the things, and you're thinking about your children, and you have children, or you're thinking about your loved one, and you have a loved one, and the things that are important in life, and you have all the emotions and anxiety inside of your body. But again, you are not releasing it because you are not crying, because how am I gonna cry because of this? You know, it's not my business. It's not even my relative. I don't even knew them, right? And you are carrying all this stuff, and you go into your car, you park, and then you get out of the car, and with your insulated shoes, you walk around, you go to your office or to your home, depending on the time that it was. And what is the very first thing that you do? You relive the experience with someone else. And what is that person's gonna ask you? How do you feel? And what you're gonna tell, oh, I feel horrible. So you then activate more, because you have to relive the experience in order to remember how you felt at that event. And you haven't released that thing, you know, it's still inside of your body. I'm gonna give you another option.
Well, can I ask something about that then? Because there's also, there's a fine line is what I'm hearing, because it's like, okay, we gotta feel the emotions though, right? We still gotta feel it. So then that's the part that
okay. In this
right.
in this other scenario, is like you going through the same thing. You saw the accident, the same type of emotions coming to you. You turn off the radio. If you feel like crying, you allow yourself to cry. Remember that you are still wearing insulated shoes. You're still not touching the ground. You're in your car, but you allow that thing to be released. You get to your home or your work. You get out of your car. You go barefoot into the ground. You do a release of energy thing, and you send light to the event, the people, and everything else, light and love. And if you still have sadness, just keep crying about it, and just let it go. Let it go. There's an exercise that we don't do on the meditations, but it's like a continuation of the clearing the aura, where we just drop the hands. It's like a standing meditation where we allow the energy, the remaining energy that we have inside of us, to move our body, so we can burn that energy. We can consume that energy instead of allowing it inside of our body, and we are barefoot into the floor. And then we go back into our house or place of work, depending on the time or where you were going to. And then, instead of talking about that, you can just say, sorry that I'm late, I was in an accident. That's it. That's it. You know, you don't have to talk to them about it. You don't have to relive that event, because what you actually want is to let it go to your past. Don't bring it into your present. Don't put it into your future. You know, you want to send it out. You want to send it back to the past. You want it to be a nightmare, like the ones that you have eventually when you're dreaming, you know, or sometimes. You just want to let it go and let it be. There's no right experience or a bad experience. You have no idea if the guy that got killed have a newborn coming, or he was a very bad person, a rapist, or it was I don't know, have a deathly health situation that he was going to die little by little. We don't know. We just don't know. You know, so that's why we have to respect everybody else's experiences, because they are living what they were supposed to live. Because remember one thing, what were the chances of these two people finding each other at the very specific moment to hit each other? And one was pushing the accelerator instead of the brakes, and the other one pushing the accelerator instead of the brakes at the very same time to collide with each other. You know, so there's something more that we cannot see. There's something deeper that we're not able to see.
Well, like so you say, life is an enigma, right? So yeah, I mean, and I know we only have a few minutes left, so I'd love to, you know, first of all, thank everybody that joined. We will be having a continued conversation around this and more healing around it, because we're going to do, like, you know, Jacob said, we're going to do an online healing workshop that's going to be a few hours long, and, you know, we're going to follow up, you know, with that to give you like the dates and whatnot and like how to register for it. So definitely look forward to that. I'm excited for that myself, because I know what a difference it made for me, and I would love to, you know, be there and witness others going through that as well. Otherwise, tonight's the meditation. So, you know, you are dealing with a lot of these emotions and whatever it is that you've been going through because of the times these days, I highly recommend joining, because we will go through the aura cleansing, energy, you know, rebalancing exercise and the deep meditation, which will allow you to fully release what you've been holding on to and connect to your higher self, source, ask the questions and whatnot as well. So that's pretty much it. I don't know if there's anything else you wanted to share, Jacob.
No, that's pretty much it. Just invite you guys to come here. We're gonna try to record that workshop also to have it for the posterity and for people that wants to do it that way. The advantage of going into the live one is that you're gonna get answered your own questions, right? And that's what it is. But if not, well, you're gonna have to adapt a little bit to that. But it's important. It's very, very important for the people to be able to do that, because I'm seeing it in how it affects our health. You know, right. I see that all the time. If for empaths, it's very normal to gain weight, because that's a way that we cope with it. Like we protect each other. We try to push people outside of us. We try to be less attractive to other people. We try to be more like in our cocoon, and we miss a lot of life.
Food is comforting too, right? So that's another part of it. So yeah, I'm about to get kicked off here on Instagram because it allows just the 1 hour. But yeah, we'll definitely share more about the workshop soon, and we'll set a time and everything for it and let everybody know. Absolutely. And again, meditation information, I'll be sending that out shortly, on both ends. So please feel free to ask questions and join us this evening.
Absolutely. Please do.
Thanks so much, Jacob, for all
my pleasure, guys.
Wonderful answers. And Brian, Mary, everybody for joining us. Thank you for all the wonderful questions.
Bye, Mary. Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye, guys. Hugs to you as well. Bye-bye, friend. See you later.
All right. Bye.
Bye.